Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Earnings Season. I'm Randy at RT Euro, and I'm with me, of course,
Danai Hall at H Danai.
All right, and this week we have, first of all, I figure you guys are hearing this late, so let me start with an apology because I know we said Wednesday, and I'm not sure if you're hearing this Wednesday or Thursday, but if you're hearing it Thursday, I'm so sorry, but we had it late, but we decided it had to be great because we have two wonderful guests here talking about something that I know you guys are interested in, and we wanted to get it out. So we have with us, I'll allow you to introduce yourselves, or you want me to introduce you? I have two nice representatives here from JMMB. I'll do the honor since I'm supposed to be a good host. I have Mrs. Kerry-Ann Stimson. Let me not get anybody's husband on me. Mrs. Kerry-Ann Stimson from JMMB. And Kerry, can you give us your proper title? I don't want to mess that up.
Sure, not a problem. It's Group Chief Marketing Officer.
That's right.
Bossy.
Big title. Bossy, yeah. Reporting to the CEO.
Well, technically, no. I actually report into Donna, who is our group head of culture and human development.
Watch me get in trouble now. You report to the nice
It's
one.
all good, but don't worry. Keith calls my phone often enough, so it's I call it a report to him too. It's no big deal.
And of course, not to be left out, we have
Damion Brown, Group Chief Investment Officer.
yeah, who is coming with the hard hitting things. So as you guys
shot,
probably
man.
figure out, as you guys probably figure out by now, this one is all about JMMB, and we know the APO is in the market, so we decided we want to get something, and we're very thankful that JMMB could join us and bring
Great to be here. Thanks
information
for
that I
having
know the
us.
people want. So I'm happy that you guys have it. Let me just jump right in. Let me introduce yourself. Well, people know me. People know Danai. I think I'll start again, if you don't mind, Kerry. With
Sure.
what you do day to day, generally, the things you can tell us.
Well, yeah, the secrets. So I'm head of marketing for the group. So group means, of course, for JMMB, we're in Jamaica, we're in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're in the Dominican Republic. So I have overall responsibility for the group, in as much as we do have marketing CMOs in Trinidad and in the DR as well.
It's Chief Marketing Officer.
Chief Marketing Officer.
Oh, I have to think for my
CMO.
listeners who might not know what that means.
Sorry.
That's fine. No,
And
I'll do
it's a
that part.
relatively new role title nomenclature for us as well.
Yeah.
So overall, you're talking about brand, you're talking about digital marketing, you're talking about, of course, your advertising activities, promotions, event management, and so on. But I like to say that I'm supporting revenue generation as a number one reason why marketing exists for us. So it's how do we
Definitely.
partner with our client partnership, aka sales team, to support or helping our clients to grow, acquiring new clients into the fold, and building brand JMMB, which is an awesome responsibility. So that's about it for me.
And you mentioned building it regionally. No, I think I don't think we give the props that we should give to our Jamaican companies. I think I need to do that. Let me start out honestly, because I like to start out honestly. People know them say, well, listen to him, I talk to them, you're a hypocrite. I have given JMMB a hard time over the years. Deservedly so, I say.
It's all good.
But also I have given JMMB a lot of praise because JMMB is where I did my very first trade, and it is where I opened my very first account, and I still have that account. Yeah, and
Great to hear.
I'll slide it right over to our second guest because that's also where I did my latest. It's not an IPO, but APO application. I did it as part of my grow APO thing, which people know. They know it if they follow me on Twitter, they'll see. But one of the things I did in it was that I did an actual application, and it was amazingly quick. But before we get to that, we can get to what you do day to day.
In terms
Damion.
of the role as Group Chief Investment Officer,
Yeah, as Group
it's
CIO.
how we put our capital over time. So as we mentioned, we're in different business lines. We are also in different jurisdictions. And in terms of that balance between ensuring our customers get that wonderful impact in terms of service delivery, or shareholders get the kind of return that will allow us to continue to grow, and that we manage our way in a prudent level because we are fiduciaries in terms of ensuring that people's dreams and their financial futures are achieved, that we need to have a coherent plan around that.
I
And
get
being
you.
JMMB and being dynamic, it really opens up wonderful opportunities in terms of our growth, in terms of where we can stay true to our culture of helping people to meet their financial goals, and also getting the trifecta of giving shareholders good returns for
On their
staying
money.
with us.
Yeah, I like that last one, especially.
That's our favorite part.
Yeah, good shareholder returns. So if I was going to distill that down to something simple for the simplest of our listeners, maybe me listening on a bad day, essentially you guide where the company does its investments, but
Yeah, where
also
do we put
where
that dollar?
Oh, but also we're like the managed accounts and so on. Okay, so generally like this is what we're going
the
into.
proprietary investment to ensure that there's no conflict of interest. We actually have other professionals that manage the off-balance sheet funds, but in terms of where JMMB's own proprietary money is placed, that would fall under my remit.
Okay, so which brings us again definitely to the APO because you have done that. Let me start off because we're talking about the APO. Let me start off something I noticed. I had at first said that JMMB wants the money from this APO to buy into Ally Invest. Anybody who don't know it, you can check the tweets, check the information, or check the prospectus, which is up on Jamaica Stock Exchange website and JMMB's website. But I say that, and I think it's generally said, but in the prospectus, it doesn't actually say quite that.
No, that's understandable that people come to that conclusion. But what you'd appreciate in terms of being able to announce a deal of this magnitude and importance, that everybody would have had to feel comfortable of the ability to execute. So from day one, we had financing options that would allow us to close the transaction. As we have said in the prospectus, and our group CEO said at our annual general meeting, JMMB is in growth mode. We have been in growth mode with acquisitions over the last few years, and in terms of starting new companies, primarily in the Dominican Republic and Trinidad and Tobago, and we're seeing significant growth opportunities as some of those younger companies now come out from the infant stage are looking into their growth periods. And in terms of even our existing major business lines, the brand has always been well received, and as we look to execute on our financial goal partnership, we are seeing significant growth, especially on the banking side as well. Not to mention that there are investment opportunities that come up, such as investment in AQI / the new Sagicor that we have made a major announcement on. But we see other opportunities that will come up over the next few years, and we're ensuring that we are in the position to continue to spread the JMMB brand and to take advantage of the good ones.
I like that. I like that you've gone regional with the growth.
Definitely.
I remember seeing two things that stand out in my mind. One, not just that you went into Dunrep because JMMB is in Dunrep and it's a good thing, but that you guys got approved, I think, last year for pensions in Dunrep, which is big. You know, that means that you guys are going long on Dunrep.
Right. We think the Dominican Republic has significant growth potential, both in terms of their overall macroeconomic growth, where the development of the financial sector is at this point in time, and especially for JMMB in terms of where we're positioned in the marketplace and the kind of response that we have gotten from our investors and our partners there. And it's part of the overall strategy where we want to partner with people through their financial life goal cycle. So if you don't have that much and you just need a rainy day fund, we want to be there with you when you have progressed and you want to make that investment in terms of a car, home, further education, whatever you want. And when you reach that later stage where you really want to build wealth, we're here for you. So that has been our approach. We look at it from the perspective of understanding what the customer's objective is, and then you build the business lines and the actual business licenses that allow you to provide the discrete products that will fill that objective. But the real thing is, we had a tagline that said, your interest at heart, full stop. This is just our way from a corporate side, being able to fulfill that in the most meaningful way possible.
All right, I like that. Well, you really come in.
I love that. Actually, coming strong, man.
You really come in, every boy. I like that. It's like I like that you're on point with it. Let me keep it on the APO though. So 10 billion, yes. and people, I don't want you giving me a hard time saying that I didn't ask them some of the harder questions. You have to understand that I have to know what I can and can't ask. For example, let me show a good example. Are you guys going to upsize it to 350?
We have the ability to. What I would say, that decision...
Kerry brought her lawyer.
Like any other person coming to market, that decision will be made based on the receptivity that we get. Okay. What I would say is that part of our approach, even in terms of how we're doing the allocation mechanism, is to try and ensure that there is as much mass participation as possible. Yeah. So we made a decision in a context of trying to ensure that as many small and medium-sized investors get to be part of the JMMB dream and wealth creation as possible.
I like that because I know a lot of people always on I don't know if you get the same messages as I do, Danai, but like every IPO, people are angry about, oh God, I don't get enough, or I get 1% or whatever.
Got too little.
Yeah, I got too little, but I realize, I mean, the minimum buying this offer is 300 shares, and then
so
increments of 100.
Plus?
Is that again?
That's 11,000 plus, right?
Yeah, but then the bottom up allocation is on 3,000. So everybody probably
below that.
You're going to get at least 3,000, hopefully, unless you guys get that super huge offer.
We expect that there will be the response that's in line with both the strength of our brand, the kind of achievements that we have made on our track record. It speaks for itself, and that's within the prospectus, and also in terms of what the growth opportunities are going forward. And we see that as tremendous. We'll clearly stay true to our roots and what we stand for, but from a business perspective, there's already lots of opportunity to grow. And just looking at the landscape within the Caribbean for financial services, we think that there will be definitely other opportunities that we can put the JMMB brand with and create value for our shareholders.
And the fact that it's in the two countries is something we're super excited about.
I put myself on record recently as saying that Jamaica is, and I stay on record saying that Jamaica is the financial capital of
Caribbean, definitely.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
You can see everybody's branching out from Jamaica, and look at JMMB's push right now with the Sagicor. You mentioned the regional push they're making right now. Sagicor is so broad across the region, and JMMB is taking 22% of that. That's crazy.
Major money.
Yeah.
Major money. I said 350 a while ago, but it's actually let me be accurate, because I don't want anybody to hit me on that. You have the option to upsize to 325 million new shares. And you guys have to respond, so you don't get any trouble, but I believe that that's probably definitely going to happen. Especially with the shareholders that you have, especially the large shareholders.
Oh,
that
yeah,
you
definitely.
Yeah. So I know that the single largest
is proven.
Is proven.
With 20% of the shares.
Probably going to buy 20%.
20%.
Offer. Yeah.
It only makes sense to me with the way they're balanced, with the way they book their income.
That's
so the
true.
share of profit, if they don't collect 20% of the offer, then they can't book share of profit in associate from JMMB anymore.
Which would mean they take a
hit to the profit.
Yeah. They're not going to
so
do that.
they're not going to do that.
Yeah. Notice you guys don't say anything. Let's keep it that way.
I'm just saying, we just hope Chris Willie and his team are listening, right?
Yeah. I hope they're listening to. But I like what they've been doing, and I like what you guys have been doing, bringing it again to the APO, because we're very in clear terms what it is. JMMB is asking for money because they're expanding, and we have seen the expansion. It's been slow but steady expansion over the last few years, and this is a huge step for me now in my mind. Dana and I have had these conversations many times. It's a big like, I don't know if people realize what it is, It's a big chunk of a huge corporation that's being brought to Jamaica like that, in just one go.
One step of a finger.
One step, and I think you guys are being a little conservative, because I'm looking at the prospectus now. I know that the forward-looking statement says that you hope that it will increase profits by 20% next year. That's the official line.
What we would say is that we've always come from humility, but our performance has always been anything but humble, and we hope to continue that kind of tradition going forward.
Yeah, well, don't say no. We're from Jamaica, we're bossy, so you go. But I like that we're taking that big step. Let me not ask the wrong question. Go ahead, Dad.
Okay, and the next thing, Align Invest is a Canadian company.
Technically it is.
Yeah, technically it is. So everybody looking at it as JMMB taking the next piece in the Caribbean. But JMMB is reaching to Canada to take the next piece in the Caribbean.
Yes. I will definitely not get you guys in trouble, but I've had strong views on Canadian companies and certain countries owning local and regional assets. So to see...
So we're owning them.
The homegrown asset getting onto that, into that space and saying, you know what, let's grab a piece of it and hold it for the long term is major
moves for Jamaica.
It was considered a major thing that Panjam owned 30% of Sagicor Jamaica.
So wow.
Yeah, so 22% of all Sagicor is huge to me, and I always like to drop some tidbits. Clico, you guys can Google whatever the Clico thing is, but Clico has old insurance accounts that they have, and they've recently sold it to Sagicor. Sagicor, I think Trinidad and maybe Sagicor Barbados also, which you guys are
So,
hopefully going to own.
Yeah, so yeah.
So we definitely see it as a good investment that Sagicor in its entirety has good growth prospects, and we're looking forward to benefiting that in terms of our profile as we set out in the prospectus. Outside of the earnings, there are other benefits from a diversification perspective that it brings, and as we highlight in the prospectus again, that in terms of our core operations and existing operations, there's a clear growth path.
Yeah, I like that clear growth path that you keep mentioning. So the people want to know, because the people want to hear the easy. First, they want to know, when is the offer going to close? Because I know people want to know if they're going to have enough time. I always tell people to treat the opening date like the closing date. But the opening date has passed locally. When is the offer slated to close? If you can tell us a steady answer.
Currently, in terms of the latest date, will be November 11th. There's always the option to close prior to that.
Or extend.
Right. I wouldn't be able to speak to any decisions or conditions would lead to closing early, other than to say that our objective would be, again, to ensure that there's wide participation. But I'd encourage those that are interested to move through with alacrity, and when you have a good thing, take advantage of it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And this is definitely a good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, in I know people might say good thing. I mean, it should jump in right now. I would tell people to one thing I am careful of saying is that it's not the typical. It's not an IPO. It is
Yeah, it's
an
not
APO.
an IPO. It's an APO.
And so JMMB has a track record of moving. So don't expect them to jump overnight. Although they might jump overnight, I think if the deal closes. Are you guys allowed to tell us when the deal closing, or no? Don't know?
Oh, yeah, I'll invest deal.
No, in terms of our expectations, we would have outlined what we could in the prospectus.
In the prospect, boy, I don't like this lie.
No. What I like is that I can still tell people to read the prospectus instead of asking us questions.
Yes, but they're gonna ask anyway, right?
Yeah, we know that go.
Yeah. But I know there are no hard dates in there, because that's the big question. When is Ally Investing going to close? And I, as somebody, been paying attention to the Canadian disclosures on it, because they do have to have some heavy disclosures. They don't have a date yet, though, but I know they did mention a time period.
Right. If you'd appreciate that, Sagicor, given the scope, has operations in, I think it's over 22 countries.
Including America.
Right. So getting through all the regulatory approvals and other considerations will take some time and some intricacies.
Yeah. I like that.
Speaking of America, a general meeting recently where you guys spoke about the APO. You spoke about the cap raise. You were speaking about Sagicor as a good investment, and you mentioned that they have 48 licenses. Licensed to operate insurance business in 48 states in America.
Yes.
So imagine that for hitting JMMB.
Right.
That is true.
So do you know if they actually intend to start operating there?
In terms of their disclosure and their operating strategy, I leave that for theirs. What I would say is that is definitely a growth opportunity, as are other areas of their business. So overall, we do see that there will be a growth and a very positive impact from us being the largest single shareholder within the Sagicor Financial Group. What we have termed.
I don't know if you said that, you know. I don't know if you're allowed to say that, you know. Might not forget edit that part. So I don't know if that's public. I don't know if it's known that you guys would be the single largest.
I mean, you can go and check Ally Invest.
Yeah, we did when the deal was initially announced. We did say that if it's successful, we would be the single largest
So again,
shareholder.
imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then also we
nice
would have
money.
2 seats on the board of
On board.
directors
Oh,
as well as a
that part I
consequence.
do know. You want to hear something funny, right? So they'd be the single largest shareholder in Sagicor Financial Group, right? Remember that Sagicor Financial owns X1, which is a single largest shareholder, or second largest shareholder in Playa.
Playa. Oh gosh.
Oh Lord. Oh my God. Select funds, which you guys are also going to control. Technically, 22% of select funds because of the ownership of Sagicor.
Which
Am I
one?
getting that wrong? Sagicor Select Funds.
Is
Or that's Sagicor Jamaica.
Sagicor
Select
Jamaica, but
Funds. I think that's a Jamaica.
Sagicor Financial Group has controlling interest in
Jamaica.
Sagicor Jamaica.
Jamaica,
So-
40%, I think it is.
49.
Boy,
Yeah.
you think the work start yet? All right, so I think people know the APO. I don't want to go too deep into it, but people know the general thing. It's $38 if you are a JMMB shareholder as at October 15th.
Yeah.
October 15th, which means you'd have had if you didn't own shares before then, it don't make sense in terms of thinking of getting that price. But the prices are so similar. I think the difference between them is less than 2%.
2%, so.
Yeah, I think it's probably just a buy fee.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's probably just a buy fee, the difference between them. So you can still buy.
So still, if you were to go on the market today and buy at about $40, it's still better to us go into the offer. Because the fees of going, the difference
in fees
in the 2% wouldn't be beating the 2% you pay on the $40 on the market. So
yeah,
makes sense just going to offer.
So we know the price, we know what they want the money for. We know how they're doing because JMMB's the numbers are open and they've been doing well over the years, and they're serious about their growth now. I guess we can.
Big up Kalila, because I watched her Money Mondays. I saw you guys on it, and you spoke about 9 billion. You want to grow your bottom line to 9 billion by 2022, I think.
Or Group CEO spoke that's our aspirational view. I will be pulling out all the stops to make that a reality.
Well, it's a heavy stop that you pull out
already. Because 2018 financial year, you made about 3 billion profit. So to 3 billion to 9 billion.
Tripling the profit.
Tripling profit in 3 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
In 3 years. But if there's any 3 years, I think could happen. This is the 3 years.
This is the time.
This is the 3 years.
And they're showing us that they're going for it, because I calculated on Sagicor, the 89 million, I think, in the prospectus, where they say 89 million is a projection for Sagicor's 2019 profit. And 20% of that would be around 2 billion.
22%.
22% that would be around 2 billion plus Jamaican. So on top of the share and profit and associate from the Sagicor will be 2 billion and a 3 billion from 2018. So they're 60% of their current profit is coming from Sagicor, from this one acquisition. Crazy.
I remember I said Sagicor overseas bought the Clico assets, which that
so
is
even
going to
better.
grow. Yeah.
But I think they would have factored that into their prediction, because 89 million is a prediction.
I don't know if they'd have factored it in. I tend to take those things to say that they haven't, but I don't know. You guys can give any insight on that, or you can't?
Just saying that what we would have put in the prospectus was what is publicly available. That would have been put forward by both Sagicor and Align Invest. Anything else we wouldn't be able to speak to.
Say.
All
okay.
right.
No problem. I understand. Let's keep everybody employed and happy.
Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you,
that
Ryan.
strategy.
So, so we spoke about the price, we spoke about the do. Well, we should talk about the actual application process. I did mention that before we started recording, and I'll say it again officially on air that I mentioned it, that I applied during, as part of my grow experience, as part of our doing the thing, to show people actual hands-on application, and even I was surprised at how quickly it happened. Like, I clicked it and it said it's in.
Yeah.
And I paused and go, wait, hold on. It can't actually be in already. Yeah?
People tell you it's faster than NCB.
Oh, let's get us in trouble now. You're trying to get everybody in trouble. It is faster. I mean, fact is a fact. It is faster. And I can understand why it's faster, because you guys are leveraging your customer information that you have already, which I like. So you didn't have to ask me for my JCSD number. You didn't have to ask me for my ID. You have all that already. All you do is you say, okay, Randy Rowe is applying for this much and we're taking this much funds on his account, so boom. I like that. I mean, you guys, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast. I'll say it. No, you guys are heating up the brokerage wars. Yeah.
So one of the things we wanted to do was to make the process as simple as possible and as customer friendly as possible. And we have gotten a lot of positive feedback, similar to what you have said, where the most negative thing is people can't believe that the process took that. They feel as if they must have missed a step, or there's something else
Exactly.
left to be done because they haven't experienced that. But in any market, you'll have evolution, and we wanted to put our best foot forward for APO, and we'll see improvements over time as technology and our processing to allow.
Yeah.
I'm loving that pressure in the rest of the market to step the game up.
Yeah, boy, and it's the second thing. The second time then, but I want to close the APO before I start that one. But so we know how to apply. You can apply one. I'll just say to the people officially. You can apply if you're applying for the APO. You can print off the prospectus, apply with the application form at the back. And I'm speaking mostly to Jamaica, but the same thing if you're in Trinidad. You can apply with it at the back too. You can go, if you're a JMMB customer, you can apply via Moneyline. And the beauty of it is, guys, I will say this: you can get a JMMB account open relatively quickly. Yeah, you can get it relatively quickly. And it's my view that you can, because you're here, we're recording this actually the Wednesday. So if you are to hear this as a Wednesday or Thursday, and you go into a JMMB tomorrow morning, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Kerry, but you can open a JMMB account. And I think by, let's say, next week, Monday, you can apply for the APO from your Moneyline account. So you can get the same experience once and get Moneyline, which I still say is It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's still a pretty good system.
Yeah.
I want to wrap the APO before I talk about JMMB operations. But so if you want to apply, you can apply there. Today also I see there was an addendum to say that you have updated your selling agent list. So NCB Cap Market is now on, and so is Sagicor. And I mentioned NCB Cap Market because NCB Cap Market does have the Go IPO.
Right.
Yeah, so now people can apply with Moneyline if they're Moneyline customers. If they're not, they can go and open a Moneyline account if they want. They can open a JMMB account and get Moneyline going if they want. If not, they can apply via the Go IPO platform.
Whichever broker they are.
Yeah, whichever broker you're at,
yeah.
you can do it that way. So you have lots of options, people. And again,
So
no
ease of
one
getting
here-
in, it should not be an excuse why I didn't get in.
There we go. No more excuse. Please don't message me in Christmas for, boy, you know, I did hear you on the podcast. And I did for buy. You know, when those messages I get all the
Yeah,
time.
man, I get all the time.
Yeah. Boy, you mentioned Jam Tea. I'm a did for buy. Yeah, so let's not have that happen with JMMB. I can assure you my personal view, and again, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I don't think anybody here is. Is anybody, or you guys are? But you're not giving license. Okay, so we do have one, but we're not giving licensed financial advice here. But I'm personally thinking that JMMB closed today at what? 40 something?
Let me check.
This is the bot that we use all the time to tell us exactly what close. You guys don't know your closing price right off the bat. I'm joking with you. I mean, I like
imagine
that.
that'd be stressful, you know. Imagine every day they ask.
I like that. So you really shouldn't have to pay attention to your stock price every day. And in fact, companies that have to pay attention to their stock price every day, it is a totally different business. Yeah, that's a different kind of headache. I don't know if I'd want that. Unless you're like an index fund or something where you're actively managing, you shouldn't want to have that sort of headache. So you guys have more important things you have to check every single day.
It
But
closed at 41.80.
41.80, that's nice. I do not see JMMB being anywhere near
Definitely.
40 or even 50 or
Remember,
personally $60 by the mid next year.
I think when the deal was announced, it was at 50 plus. So
Yeah, well, this is an
imagine.
opportunity. Yeah,
And I
when
think
the
profit has gone up since.
yeah. So
So-
they've made more money. And they're about to buy into something that's profitable.
It just looks good to me.
Yeah. So I can't say whether or not it's a great thing. I can't tell anybody to buy it, but I personally can tell you that I have put in an application. I'll probably put in another one too. So yeah, let me call that the closure on the APO conversation, and then wrap it and go more into the general JMMB operations where everybody want me to cut Mrs. Stimson. Yeah, I'm glad we've got you here for the cussing. I'm not cussing you for anything. You've been doing a really great
And
job.
Damion leans back in his
Yeah,
chair.
yeah, it's like,
I'll allow you to show your expertise.
Thanks, Damion.
meet the bottom of the bus.
Yeah.
But JMMB has, I will say that you've heated up the brokerage wars. I said JMMB started this round of the brokerage wars because JMMB brought Moneyline, which is their online platform.
The first online platform, I think.
I think so, because that's where I did my very first ever trade.
And I thought way back.
Yeah, way, thank you. It's not that far, but yeah, when I was in school, I tell the story of my uncle who asked me about which one of these stocks you think we should buy, blah, blah, blah. And that was Moneyline. And it was when Moneyline had just started. So it's a big deal for me, seeing it as into computers and as in high school, and there's this Moneyline system and you can buy stocks on it. And of course it went well. He made a lot of money off the thing, I think. So congrats to him. Hi, uncle. I hope you're hearing this. It'd be good if you could send me some of that money. But yeah, it's good that you guys started it that way. And you kept the system, because the system really did work. In fact, I am on record again. I have written about it. I've said that it is the best system. It was the best system until JC launched JTrader. Which, and the reason I think JTrader is better than anything else is because
Plugged
it's
directly into the
plugged
market.
directly into the market, yeah. And Moneyline is a system that was built long before any of that existed. So Moneyline was essentially JMMB putting together something for it. But I know then you guys have a huge customer base. I know it's a long question. It's setting you up. You guys have a huge customer base. You have a large amount of retail clients. Which says that the day-to-day regular people use JMMB because it's probably the easiest account to open also. Yeah, if not the easiest account to open. They open it with what's the amount of money you can open an account with, Karen?
Well, $1,000 literally.
Really?
Jamaican
Jamaican?
basic, yeah.
Wow.
So I don't want to hear anybody complaining.
Yeah.
Privilege.
Privilege. No, it's not a privilege. It's not a privilege podcast.
$1,000 is a major
$1,000?
thing.
Yeah. And can I tell you, that's just really how JMMB started, you know. So when our co-founders was, and everybody, the more popular one being the late Joan Duncan. That's really the basis on which we started, because at the time, the money market was really only accessible to institutional clients. And she was like, look, we need to create something where the average everyday Jamaican can come in off the street with a few $100s to invest and benefit from the money market, because at the time, it would have been just your typical savings account. So that's where we started, and we've always remained true to that. So we are the place where everyday Jamaicans can go.
So everybody talks about investing being a rich man thing.
Yes.
But JMMB is the reason why investing is no longer the rich man thing.
Exactly.
that is
That's
to
how we see
democratize
it.
it.
Yeah.
100% true. When I tell people I started with 10 grand, I started with 10 grand at JMMB. So yeah, that's where my start was with JMMB. And so I mentioned this and I mentioned Moneyline because I do think while it's still great, the speed to market now, as the market has sped up, Moneyline can't keep up in that it is still it's a good system. It's a great system in terms of how it's maintained and the access it gives you, but it's not as fast as JTrader. I know you guys are getting it. So you guys are going to ask straight up, you're going to give your customers JTrader? Yes or no?
So what we can say, taking from the phrase out of Damion's book. So first of all, we want to acknowledge that we hear the complaints and the concerns, and we are going to answer.
Okay.
But what I will say is I'm not going to guarantee that it is going to be JTrader. Because what you have to realize, of course, in the whole investment, stock market investing, there are many components to it. There's the IPO application component, and then there's a trading component, and the need to have that information virtually real time, right? Now, so far, everywhere there is a gap, because with JTrader, you're seeing everything, and you're in the queue, and it's live, but you can't apply for IPOs on it. Then you have Go IPO. You can apply for IPO from any broker, but you can't trade with it once you get the shares.
That's true.
With Moneyline, you're trading, not real time, but you can apply for IPO. So you see the pieces of the puzzle coming together. We're coming with an answer.
Okay,
So
great.
Okay.
I think I hear your answer loud and clear.
yeah, we're gonna close that loop. We're gonna close that loop. I won't say how. I mean, JTrader is an option, but we're gonna make sure that when we close the loop, you're getting the full value, not a piece of the value.
Great.
Okay, I love that. And let me publicly say I'm ready to help you guys with anything that you need there. Because I'll still say that outside of maybe some of the smaller brokerage houses, JMMB still has the best customer care.
service, yeah.
You guys give a whole heap of trouble. I won't lie, but it's part of just being as big as you are.
Yeah,
it's part of just being as big as you are.
It's
So I know on the one hand, like I got some beat up because I got telling them congrats the other day for the last IPO. You know, my God, literally as I tweeted that congrats because I haven't gotten any complaints.
Yeah.
What? I was told that, but I understand how it works. It's a big organization, and so you can't help what somebody in Portmore might tell somebody on a bad day, or even if it's employees anyway. Employees might just not follow the instructions that they're given. So I do know. I still say that JMMB has some of the best customer care.
Oh, absolutely.
In the space, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. And again, it goes back to who we are, you know. I remember the same conversation you and I would have had about the beat up about what applications we're taking and not taking. I mean, we're the type of company, and I'll just be very frank.
I don't want to talk about that yet, but
Oh my Lord. Brandon, I'm going to lose the word. Yes. But, instances where, we would have made mistakes and having to compensate, our clients admitting for the mistakes we would have done.
That is true.
Honestly and truly.
That is true.
That's, again, who we are. So,
that's true.
Customer is number one for us.
I'm very careful these days about what I say. I have seen some cases followed up. And I actually have a friend who was one of those cases, and he was compensated fully. I think you know that I won't call him, but himself. He was compensated fully. When it was shown that it wasn't his fault, the end result was JMMB said, you know what, it's not your fault. As at this date, you would have had this much. We're compensating you to that much. And I have heard the same situation with other brokers, but he's the only one I've heard that resolution with. So again, I can't knock it. It's like my mother used to tell me, I beat you because I love you. My mother has never said that to me. I'm so sorry. Mommy, I'm so sorry. She never said that to me. But it's the same thing. It's because I care so much about JMMB and I see what's happening there. Because you guys really push in industry. Another thing that people don't mention a lot is that JMMB has dropped their brokerage fees to 0.75.
Oh, yes.
75 once you do it online. Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
That's
and again, that's an
2%?
answer to the call. You know, we hear you, and we answer the call.
0.75% is less than half of almost everybody else who hasn't dropped.
Yeah, 2% is
2%
the
is
standard.
pretty much
Yeah.
the standard.
And 2% sounds small until you hear
Until
that
you
you
hear
can get
0.75%.
0.75%. Yeah, so that's major that you guys are doing that. So you have the good company, you have the employees that are interacting with people. You come in on something like earnings season, which I can tell you most brokers wouldn't say thank you very much for this brave. You bring the lawyer with you, the internal lawyer, but that's good still. I like that you're interacting with us the right way, and you're taking the feedback, which is what I really like on the market. And you interact on the market. I tell people all the time, if I tweet something about JMMB, vex, I can count the seconds until the phone ring, Hi, Randy, this is Kerry. I'm just calling about the and I said, boy, Kerry, she's so nice. You can't. I want to vex and can't vex. And then if it's not you, you have a second. I need to be. Please tell me the name of your customer care lead customer care rep. What's her name?
Wow.
She's who used to call me first.
I wonder who that is. Yes, that's okay. Let me call some names: Jessica, Patricia, Michelle, Nikisha.
It might have been a Nikisha.
Big up everybody.
Big up Nikisha is one of the team leaders in our client care center. That's Nikisha, and then there's Michelle who heads client care. Yeah, so there are so many people, I guess.
Yeah,
you may feel like they're the lead, but everybody kind of have their hands in the pot.
This specific person I had looked up. I remember is that I saw her. I know she's a nice Christian lady. Big,
wow.
Young lady.
That don't narrow it down.
Doesn't narrow it down at all. Yeah, but I remember it's good because she'd always call me, and after a while it's like, you call me. But that dedication to what's happening, because not many companies do that. Because JC's a private company. I beat up JC all the time. JC don't, even JC made the fixes I talk about, they don't say, they don't publicly acknowledge it. Yeah. They don't ever interact with me public, which I can understand. That's one route you can choose of. Let's just not ignore it. But I like that you guys had a harder route, which is we hear you and we're fixing it. And I have a whole heap of respect for that.
Definitely.
So when you're going to start giving people like a little bit more to push them. I mean, 0.75 is not really much. Just go 0 and done. That's what's happening in America. Yeah. That's what's happening in America. Everybody's going no trade fees to pull people, right? I can tell you this: if you got no trade fees, I'll be the first person to tell people, listen, JMMB is where it's at. Again, let's go back there, guys. Even though the 0.75 is still great, but I need
I'll say we hear you. We hear you, and I'll definitely take it under advice. But no, seriously, we'll take the feedback always and definitely assess it. And at the end of the day, make sure that we have shareholders. We have to be covering our costs and these kinds of things. So just saying, we'll
if you're
definitely
complaining
take
about
the
the fees,
feedback.
just buy JMMB shares.
Yes,
because it's paying yourself.
Yeah, that's true. The dividend.
And from a free fee structure perspective, generally we are a company that's very good on fees generally.
Yeah.
So when you hear people complaining about fees, so for instance, we don't charge fees to come in when you want to come into a branch to put in money or take out money from your account.
That's true. We
don't.
I'm talking about you guys as a brokerage. I'm so sorry.
As a bank.
But you are a bank. You're a commercial bank also. Yeah.
So I like how Moneyline plugs into that. So they got the commercial license and they started operating a commercial bank, and they just brought Moneyline on board for the whole ecosystem.
Yeah. That which makes sense, right? Because I like that one platform.
So you don't lose anything by
being
so your banking and investments on the same platform.
Which is good to me.
It sounds great to me. And so I mean, how is the banking side of things going? Are you guys having fun with that sort of pressure? Because I think people are expecting you to maybe hit the banking side the way you hit the brokerage side very, very early.
Yeah. So it's very exciting, as you rightly said. So of course, when we acquired Capital and Credit, would have been a merchant bank. We would have transitioned to commercial banking, as you rightly said. And so for us, it's been a very exciting learning curve, but we've been growing exponentially because, of course, our clients especially were looking forward to us going into the commercial banking space because, again, understanding their frustrations perhaps with what their prior experiences would have been. They were looking forward to the JMMB way of bringing the love to banking.
Yeah.
So I would say what you can look forward to, and we've already publicly stated it, is that we are going into the Visa debit card space, which is the next big kahuna for us. So certainly before the end of our current financial year.
And the financial year ends in March 2020.
We're coming to the space with our JMMB Bank Visa debit card. So now then you'll be able to do your online, local, overseas. We're going to be converting our current network of electronic transaction machines or ETMs. We're going to be converting them to ATMs.
Finally.
Yes.
Visa enabled, yeah,
never used
ATMs.
I've never used one because
Me neither, you're right. I've never used
yeah,
one.
but I've never used an ETM because I always thought, nah, there's no money. And then what I started thinking of JMMB as is the money you put in JMMB is almost like you shouldn't touch it. Yeah. So I was like, this ETM thing is really good because I'm not going in that full of money. So let me just leave it there. But that's really, really good. You guys don't get your credit now because I'm also go drive through.
Yes.
It's long time I don't go in a branch and I pass it. Do not go drive through. Say if the drive through empty, let me just go to drive through and drop off a check.
And that drive-through on Horton, it's in New Kingston, is open on a Saturday.
So we're having some good reviews over here.
Saturday drive-through and so on. And then Portmore also has a drive-through.
Yes, sorry. It's a big up Band Production Studios. Passing notes telling us that it might switch to JMMB. You should. JMMB is actually a pretty great place to be in terms of a long-term view. If you're not crazy, I think what's happening currently I shouldn't say crazy isn't the right term to use, but there's a lot of action around the market now. People looking at IPOs, and I hear them talk about it almost like how they talk about Cashpot, which I don't like.
Me neither.
Right? It gives the wrong sort of buzz around it. It's not a buzz thing, it's an actual industry. But JMMB doesn't they act well, but they don't act buzzy. Very, very long term, very, very structured in how they roll out stuff. I know you had a lot of your Her Wealth program is something huge that you had. That's something that I get. Hey, big up NN Boogie for getting me in trouble. NN Boogie, I wish you were here this week to talk to this lady. Boogie. You know, people wouldn't believe. I should say it. How do I tell it now? People, you might have thought that I told Boogie to say it. And then Boogie think that I say to say, yo, you shouldn't. Neither of them have I so to each other. I wake up and see the tweets and frightened same way. So people who don't know, I mean, I put in the show notes what we're talking about if the tweets have been deleted from Boogie. But it was pretty much one day I think Boogie saw the Her Wealth thing and she's like, how come Randy isn't here and he's the person who carried everybody to the market? But I think it was, Karen, you can tell your side. How come I wasn't there? Tell the people.
Okay, right. So it actually was Elevate, I think it was. So earlier this year in January, we had this kind of a kickoff event for the year, to help people kind of get charged up about their goals. And we had an event called Elevate this Saturday. And guest speakers were Rochelle Cameron, and we brought in Paul Brunson, C. Brunson from the States. And the following morning, we wanted to have a breakfast, which was like a talk back session with Paul. And we invited people who were influencers in a sense, but also small business people as well, because we had Kimala there as well.
Yes, big up Kimala every time.
Yeah, man, and Naomi Garrick and Scott Dunn from not Main Events, forgive me, Scott. Dream Entertainment. Although there's a connection, right?
Yeah.
I know they're part of the same family-ish. So
and listing soon, I gather. You guys don't say anything. Just give it a pause.
yeah. So what happened was somebody had posted, I think it was on LinkedIn or one of them places that, the JMMB had a breakfast with influencers.
Yes.
And I think it was Boogie who was like, well, where is the brethren Randy? And so we're like, royal. So we said, well, let's clean it up because we had a list of people on there as influencers again, and Randy was one of them. But I think the number we had or whatever email we had, we just could not get through. So we were sending and we didn't hear from you. And admittedly, it was on very short notice as well. It was like a day's notice.
I didn't even think I was in
so we had to call Randy and say, yo, I know, so we had this, but we tried to invite.
It was frightening to me that my phone ring and I heard it and I said, but I don't tweet none. Say, Kerry, what you call that? I haven't said anything. I haven't said anything.
How much customers Randy give JMMB?
Yeah, big up Boogie for that every time. She said I don't thank her enough for it. Thank you wholeheartedly, Boogie.
And then Bougie.
And then Bougie. That's how I call her now, because she started to invest. Well, I think she invests with you guys, actually.
Yes, she does, based on what we see from her tweets.
Yeah, man. So big up for that, and thank you for that. But I really like how JMMB pushes in all these areas and pulls people. I know one of the latest pushes we're talking about on the way up than I was the the small business push. That's happening.
Yes, the SME Growth Center or something.
Yeah, the resource
Resource
center.
Center, yes.
Yeah, man. So that's technically open, although we're officially rolling it out on the 6th of November, which
Oh, yeah,
coincidentally is our birthday.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah,
Really? How old
JMMB's
is JMMB
birthday.
then?
We're going to be 28 years old this year. So,
Oh, that's older than you, then.
Oh, it's younger than you.
That's it. That is, wow.
Yeah, 28 years old.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. So again, we thought it was a great, opportunity to match the anniversaries, because what the resource center is going to do is really, the SME resource center is just going to be an arm of the breadth of solutions we're going to provide to SMEs as we roll them out over the coming months. But the resource center primarily is set up to support businesses at various stages of their cycle, growth cycle or business cycle, life cycle. So we have partnerships with different entities in different sectors that are set up to support businesses. So if you need accounting advice, auditing advice, marketing advice, how to even start, get your business growing and so on, we have those partnerships in place where we can connect you with the people who can help you to grow your business.
Oh, perfect.
And that's
I know the SME is crying right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that
yes.
means everymickle.com, my company, can get a loan soon then from JMMB. Yeah,
Well,
small business
Damion
loan.
is here.
Damion.
No, but that's
Damion
a
gone quiet from the
very...
start.
I think it's definitely our objective. Not to steal anything from the launch, but just like how we partner with individuals during their financial life cycle, to partner now with businesses and to give them just the factual advice as to where they are and what really is best for them, and where there are solution sets that we offer to put it in a way that makes it less cumbersome,
For
and
the
that they
small
feel
business.
that it's really a win-win, because if your business does well, then we do well, and we have the products to help you grow over time. As if you understand our story, we were a small business
For a
at
long
a point in
time.
time. We were a dream that somebody had to change the way investing was done, to change not only financial returns and a technical issue in our market, but somebody had a passion in terms of what life should be like and how people should be treated. And our story stands for itself at this point in
Definitely.
time.
Yeah.
And you keep pushing it because you're to mix drinks here. If you consider it a drink, your group CEO Keith Duncan is also head of the EPOC. What EPOC stand for? Let me make sure.
Economic Policy Oversight
Committee.
Look at
Yes.
listed employees. But you are correct. Yeah, and he has been, I think, almost the face of this new drive to engage SMEs again.
And he's a new president of the PSOJ too,
Yes.
so it
yes.
fits in. Yeah.
Let me
very
tell you,
nicely.
that video, there's a video that went out, and people believed it. Even I believed it. And me, I'm hard to convince, like, boy, they will come again, no, they now come to small business. But literally hearing it, and this is the same JMMB thing that he came with, because like, we hear you, we really haven't been doing what we should do. He wasn't speaking for JMMB alone
Right,
then,
just
yeah.
on all banks.
Yeah,
all
but that really made a
banks,
huge use. So big up, Sir Keith Duncan, for that. I'm really happy to hear that JMMB is going in that direction. So the guys have the bank going well, you have the brokerage going well, you're giving people trouble. What else? You have pensions in DAMREP going pretty well. You're going to beat up Trinidad and Tobago really, and Barbados, you're going to run it because you're going to own 22% of their biggest company.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's really their biggest company. Apologies to the Honorable Mia Motley if that's not so. But yeah, definitely going to have a good footprint right across the region, really. So, what other areas do you guys think that you're impacting in that I haven't really given you a nice bit of spotlight on? Because tell me something that you wanted to come on here. You definitely wanted to say that Randy hasn't given you a chance to say it.
I think we'll just highlight that while we have businesses, we have regional diversification, we have good investments, we have growth, we have additional growth prospects, that at the end of the day, when we look forward, it's really, did you help your customers to meet their financial goals? If we hit that, we will make money. Markets will change, interest rates will change, economies will go up and down. But at the end of the day, if what we are working towards is that people can sit down, take their future into their hands, and really partner with somebody who has the expertise and achieve their goal, because they have different paths. I mean, financial returns is nice, and money is always a good thing, but it's how does that impact you in life, and whatever that interpretation is, and whether it's in a business, SME, those who have been successful to large corporates, your retirement, just starting off, consolidating, whatever, that there is that trust, there is that ability to come and meet your goals over time. We hit that, we will make money over time. And when we look in the future 28 years, the success will be even that much greater.
Definitely. Yeah. So JMMB lifting up Jamaica.
Yeah.
I mean, if I may jump in, there are a couple of arms in Jamaica that perhaps because they're smaller, they don't feel they get a lot of love. But we do have an insurance brokerage as well.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to
Which-
mention that.
yeah,
Which is
yeah.
like 1% of your business, but
Yeah, well, you know.
no, that's good because it means you can grow it.
Grow it,
Yeah,
Correct.
hugely, yeah.
Correct. So there is the insurance brokerage there, which a lot of our clients love, and it's part again of the whole financial package where there's financial protection as well as available, and we have a money transfer business as well, which a lot of people don't know. So we're in the remittance business.
Really?
Yeah, man. So what we do is we have a partnership with about 9 different international remittance companies around the world. So if you've probably heard of Zoom, I know you're saying
Yeah,
Bolt is their
yeah, yeah.
spokesman right now. So Zoom is one of our partners, and it's
Really?
an online service.
And Zoom is PayPal, you know.
Yeah.
Zoom is a PayPal company.
So there's Zoom. RIA is probably I think they're like the 3rd largest remittance entity, certainly out of North America. And we have partnerships with them. So you can use their platforms. If you're overseas sending money to Jamaica, you can send it through JMMB money transfer. And beyond our branches, we have partnerships where we have over 100 locations across the island where people can pick up their cash like a regular remittance company or have it sent directly to any account in Jamaica. So, you know.
Sorry, say that part again.
Right. So you can use, say, for example, Zoom or RIA, use their platform and send money to Jamaica and send it through JMMB money transfer. And then your recipient in Jamaica, your family, your grandma, whoever can go and pick it up at either the over 100 locations that we have across the island. They're all there on our website. Or you can send it directly to a bank account in Jamaica. So whether you're a Jamaican overseas and you want to pay mortgage, you can send it through JMMB money transfer. I know their family members overseas want to send money and they send it directly to a bank account. And the fees in a lot of instances, depending on how much money you're sending, could be even more affordable than a wire transfer.
Yeah.
So
That's
there's
actually
that
impressive.
facility as
That's very
well.
impressive.
I don't know if I want to put you on the spot. Is it the fees are in the 10% region or less?
So it varies based on the amount of money that you're sending. So it's a variable pricing structure, not so much a percentage per se.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So and then of course depending on the provider. I know Zoom for us I think would probably be the volume leader because again too they're online.
Yes,
So you go online and you send it. But it's really a great service that a lot of people use and rely on to do a number of things.
Definitely.
This
Oh.
side. So yeah. And then finally, another thing that I'd also want to mention is just how easy JMMB has made investing through what we call our portfolios. What are they, Damion?
Managed portfolios?
Discretionary?
Right, but the way we approach it is really your goal. So it is a financial portfolio at the end of the day. But going back to what I said, what is your goal?
I like
You
that.
tell
That's,
her your
that's
goal.
my
That's
thing.
the
We are
same
an
approach we
expert.
have.
We'll
Definitely.
transform that goal into portfolios that will give you a very high probability of achieving that goal, or give you advice as to what else you need to do if it's not feasible in the current market environment to get to that goal.
Right. Because that's the thing you see. Because a lot of people now, they're like, okay, what stock should I buy? What bond should I buy?
Yes,
And that's okay if
yes,
that's your thing, But what we've created are these portfolios that you just buy into. And then we will do the asset allocation, buying and selling on the back end. And all you have to do basically is just keep track, keep investing, keep adding your little mickle to get where you need to go, And that is what we
using my tagline?
No, it's not a tagline. Disclaimer. So I'm a lawyer here. But yeah, no, that's actually, so when you hear about things like JMMB Graduate and JMMB Wealth Builder, that is what those are. They're places, they're portfolios, you put in your money, and then we take care of the rest. So if you're not into the watching of the stocks when you want to buy, when you want to sell, that's okay. We have a solution for you if that's your thing. And then, of course, you go in based on whether you want to go high risk, moderate, low risk, short, medium, long term. Pick your option, what aligned with your goal, and we'll take care of the rest. So we've made it really that easy for you.
That is true. I have always been against, not against. I always tell people to know, well, first of all, where you started in terms of the goal, 100% correct.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. And that's what I always tell people, like, you need to go into your broker and the first thing to tell them is what you want to get.
Definitely.
Clear, in as clear terms as you can. So how much money you're starting with, how much you want, and over what time period. And then the broker can tell you if it's doable, how it's doable, so on and so forth. So I like that JMMB is doing that because that's where I think the market needs to head to. So I like that that's happening already. And people might think I'm all stocks. No, I'm very much the same way. I don't. If you don't have the time to watch it, if it's just not your thing, if you have an entire life to deal with, but you want somewhere to put the 200 grand, and maybe you don't want to go into this, give it to them. A broker is supposed to manage it. It's supposed to take care of it. It's supposed to have those managed portfolios for you. So I like that. I saw what you mentioned. They also have the smart investor. Yeah, a free plug again. Save smart. Free plug again. People them don't pay me nothing. This is not. But I like that. I like that you have these options for people, and I like that you're being open with them and telling them. And it's not just Jamaican dollars, because I think the Save Smart, I'm looking at it right now, the Save Smart is also in US dollars.
There for sure. Yeah.
And I'm actually impressed with what JMMB is coming with now.
Actually.
Yeah,
and I'm hard to impress, so.
It's Kerry-Ann, man. Them sell Kerry-Ann anytime they want. They've sent you the troops. All right, so I'll give you guys the fun part now, because we run through all the hard stuff. We know the APO is happening. Is open now, and it will be open for a little while, guys, a couple of days at least. Officially, let me be careful. The prospectus says that the closing date on the prospectus is November 11th currently, and we're recording this on the evening of October 23rd. So you know there's a little bit of time there for you if you want. You're hearing this very soon. If you don't hear October 23rd, you hear October 24th. So you have a little bit of time to go and get in if you are interested in it, and if you're not, they have a lot of other options for them. And you've heard Kerry-Ann tell you what's happening with JMMB itself. Let me ask you one hard thing, and we're going to the fun things. I would be remiss if I didn't ask. I've been waiting for a bank in Jamaica, a commercial bank, to open up what I call the online platform.
Oh, yes.
The true online walls, meaning if
e-commerce.
E-commerce.
Yeah.
Essentially. I should be able to, let's use QuickPlate. The QuickPlate as an example. Big up QuickPlate. If you have if you wanted to start a QuickPlate thing and you set it up completely, and I put on my website quickplate.com the actual buying, I want to have people buy a service from me. I buy it on the website and it goes straight to my bank account. So you don't go to PayPal and then take a check that take 5 weeks to clear. I want to go straight to my bank account. When you guys going to do that? You know, whoever does that first wins, right?
Of course.
Wow.
But I understand that it's also Pandora's box. Yeah. But because once it's open, it's open. The internet is a wild financial space. Yeah. But if you guys want to answer, you don't have to, by the way. I don't want to put the money in trouble.
So I'll just say we hear you.
Oh, come on.
No,
is it
seriously.
Something actively looked at?
I can't say.
Speak to that?
I can't
Okay.
say. I know, as I said, we've disclosed that there are certain priorities that we're focused on right now. As I said, such as, people are crying for the basics, the ATM machines, the Visa debit.
That's true.
So as perhaps the newest commercial bank in Jamaica, we have those basic foundations that we have to lay, and we're actively focused on laying those right now. I'll just be very frank. And then certainly, once we feel comfortable that those are being adequately addressed, then we'd definitely be looking at.
I can see that. I mean, that's a fair answer. I won't pressure you to because I
it is what it is. We're not 175 years old.
Oh wow!
With due respect, it is what it is.
This is a podcast of firing shots. Wow!
We're 28. We're 28.
Do I have to edit that? Tell me right if I need to edit that.
I mean, it's not. No, it's certainly not.
I'm gonna go work at a certain place anymore.
No. As a matter of fact, I went on Twitter a while ago and somebody's like, "Oh, NCBO, go IPO, taking JMMB IPO, so the malice done." And we're like, "No, we were never in malice."
Yeah, rich people don't malice the way you think they do.
God, Randy, take time. But no, I mean, seriously, it wasn't a jab at all. At the end of the day, again, as the newest commercial bank, we have to address certain basics that people expect, and so that's our priority.
That is true, because at the end of the day, as much as I'd like the online portals to be open, the worst thing is to be on like a Portland weekend, where the closest ATM there. Yeah. So the ATM, you're right. Yeah, the closest ATM is a lot more important to a lot more people than maybe online access. But remember, I tell you this: whoever does it first wins. And I'm sure, I know I'm not talking to people who don't know that already, so I'll leave it alone. It is a stocks podcast at the end of the day. I'll ask you guys some fun questions. Tell me what stocks you like. Let me start with a lawyer, who is not actually a lawyer. I should say that, guys, because I'm joking. I call him a lawyer. Damion is not a lawyer.
What I'd say is that I actually take the portfolio approach.
Oh,
So not much
come on, Damion.
of a
No, man, tell me some hot.
stock picker at this point in time, and my approach is more of a value.
Value. You're a value guy.
investor.
You're a value investor over
Right,
time.
so there's, and I knock nothing. There has been, especially IPOs and other stocks that have shown short-term growth trajectories, and I've seen strong movements. But I'm more something that you can put down. It fluctuates up and down, but it's a solid
In 10 years,
investment going forward. Clearly, I'm going to overweight in the APO relative
Yeah.
to.
No, all right.
to
Here, you're not
others.
allowed to say JMMB or Sagicor.
But I wouldn't point
wouldn't
to
answer that,
specific.
yes?
What we do is that we have a research team that for our clients puts out research reports and gives a very neutral perspective of what we really expect and what we think are from our fundamental perspective, relative buys and relative sells,
I like
and
that.
why as well, because people can have different expectations.
And
And
people
understanding the why, I think, is what empowers people not just to take the recommendation, but to interpret it as they want.
The why is actually the most important part. But I'm not going to make you
Definitely.
skip my question. All right. You're a value investor. I can accept that.
Wait,
10
what?
years. You're buying one stock that is not Sagicor or JMMB. For the next 10 years. One thing. What would you have in mind?
I think there are many, but if you look on a stock like Panjam, that's well diversified and has some of the exposures that
No.
we-
No.
that we
Panjam
like.
owns 33% of Sagicor. It's something else.
And a good amount of
And I
JMMB.
could have owned a JMMB. So that's true.
Yeah,
And
but they're
6%.
diversified. They have a strong track record in terms of proven management
own proven
as
too.
well.
No, but Panjam is actually...
Just from a diversification perspective.
Yeah, and Panjam has been around long before us, and it looks like the sort of thing that would be here long
Yeah,
after
long
us.
after,
Yeah,
definitely.
Panjam is not a bad one. Kerry, you can't come with Panjam, you can't come with Sagicor, you can't come with JMMB.
Yeah, come
Oh,
and
wow.
prove.
You can't come with Proven.
So I'm just going to speak as Carrie Ann Stimson.
That is what
right?
I like to speak. Not Carrie Ann Stimson from JMMB.
Not as JMMB. Because, I mean, I've worked in the financial sector all my life, so just kind of watching what has been happening through the years, I can tell you stocks that I have an affinity for. So you say, I can't say Sagicor. I've been from LOJ days.
Okay, wow.
So I was with LOJ from those days and until it
Sorry,
flipped.
Kerry, I'm so sorry to interrupt you on this point.
Sure.
But let me say this. I'm old enough, because I'm 33. I'm old enough to remember when I was a Jamaican company. And I remember when it became Trinidadian and we lost it. You big up JMMB for bringing it back.
Yes.
Yeah, big up JMMB for bringing peace back. Yeah. Trinidad, try again.
Yeah, and Twitter didn't do it like how they did Rihanna, right? We really
Wow. No, big up Rihanna too. I remember when she was younger, she was in Trelawney. That's where she's from, right? Yeah. But yeah, all
I
right.
think
sorry.
you were trading at the same time.
Yeah, oh wow. Big up Rihanna, the biggest Jamaican I know. But
Yeah,
Kerry,
man,
sorry to
yeah,
interrupt your
oh
point. Let me
dear,
hear
yeah.
a nice thing.
JMMB did not endorse that.
That you at all.
Right. So I've been with them from then. So I can't say that. I'll be very honest and say I've been with NCB for about 15 years now.
Wow, I'm definitely
So-
editing that. You sure you want to say that?
No, man,
You have
I'm
any-
I'm a
you have any issue?
shareholder. This is just me from
Straight
back
up.
in the day. I was at the time when I first bought them, I was employed at the former Daring, Bunting and Golding.
Wow.
And again, just as an individual investor getting started in investing in stocks, they were one of the first stocks that I bought. And look where they are today.
That means yeah.
I just did not buy enough.
Hold
That's
on,
what I
hold
need
on,
to
let-
beat
let me-
myself,
let me
and I
go-
didn't
let
do
me
the
go
dollar
ancient, let me
cost averaging like what Randy say. I am
You
to
do need to do some more averaging up if that's the last time
No,
you
man,
bought.
no, that's not the
Okay.
last time. I mean, I've bought
been
more,
buying since then?
in recent years.
Okay.
But once I did that initial thing, I wasn't as diligent in making sure that I bought my little
Little
bits, mickle.
mickles
Bits,
over the
bits.
years. Yeah,
A good
dollar-
point,
Yes, but
Ryan
definitely
made.
one of those.
A good point Ryan made. It's more about the habit
Yeah,
than the price.
yeah,
Indeed.
that's
If
true.
you believe in the stock, just keep buying.
Big up Five
Indeed,
Soleil, mandatory big up.
indeed.
Yeah, every week.
Every week.
Indeed. Scotia is another one as well that I have. One stock that I do like, and this may be, controversial, so again, I'm not speaking on behalf of JMMB, is Carreras. As a
Ooh.
dividend stock, they are tremendous.
My old
They are
employer.
tremendous. So I'll give them props for that, as a dividend stock.
Actually, I think they're undervalued now, funny enough, right?
Yeah, I was looking
they're
at
not,
it too.
Yeah, they're not a growth thing in my view. They're not a growth market, no.
Good.
It's very funny talking
Yeah.
about them because I've gotten so used to holding what I say about them, having
Yeah,
worked there. But
yeah.
they're actually, I personally think they're a little undervalued, though. And they're gonna be around for a long time in
But
some
the
way, shape, or form.
dividends are quite attractive.
Strong. That's all Carreras does. Sell and send the money right back out. Yeah. Strong dividends for that. I thought you were gonna say something nice like Fontana or something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep getting on the IPO, but my thing is, Randy, I guess you'd be happy if I would be a student of yours. I just buy in and I just forget about it.
That is a great way to do it.
I don't really go in and, it move, all right, come and pull it out. So I don't even know where it is right now.
So you bought from the IPO?
Yeah.
You're going to be very happy when you
okay, great. Because I just buy and I just put it down and,
Yeah, that's good.
Allow some years to pass. So.
Yeah, you're going to be very happy.
Yeah, great.
You're going to be happy over the next few years too, I think. Yeah. Not right now, but if you bought from IPO, you're very happy right now. What did the IPO at? 188?
188, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like $9 something, no?
No, I think they went down recently.
But even 6, that's still 600.
But they did do a reconsideration for the dividend. So they had a dividend consideration, and then what was it, a postpone or something like that? But they did put out a dividend consideration notice again recently. Yeah.
You know what that is? I think it was bad press. But we'll say that for a podcast and we don't have guests on it. Yeah, because they did cancel that dividend consideration meeting. And I saw that. We actually mentioned it when it had come out. Yeah, at that time. All right. You know what? I won't want to keep the people too long. So I'll give you mine because I always, let me.
I knew Randy was coming with this.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to do it first. I'll ask
give
myself first. Okay, Randy, if you're investing for 10 years, what would you invest in, Randy?
Oh, no.
I was putting money on for 10 years and I can't say Sagicor and CD. I'm not going to see if your Panjam, although Panjam was really good. 10 years, I would put it in Carib Cement, but I would buy Carib Cement, but I would buy every single month. So let's say I put 10 grand in, 10 grand Jamaican in every single month, dollar cost averaging. Every month, no matter how much it gets me, I put it in 10,000 Jamaican dollars over the next 10 years. If you do that, you will be very happy in 10 years because construction isn't stopping anytime soon. If it's not Carib Cement, however, I would probably be like a cheap. I'd probably buy Select F. Sagicor Select F. I know I say I couldn't say that, but I would just because it tracks the index. You guys have any plans to grab an index? You guys should do an index enough. Why you guys don't do an indices? A couple of indices, or you can't say anything.
Index funds in general. I really like the idea of Jamaican companies pushing an actual index fund. It's not done out here.
Yeah, man. I want a broker push an index. So you guys can say anything about that or you're not saying. They're looking at each other, guys, and I don't know what it means.
I'll take our time. We take all the feedback.
Oh, come on, guys. Build an index. Build a poor people index. I'll help you build a poor people index. Yeah, build a nice IPO index. Build a couple of indices because, the company you're about to own, they're jumping on the wave. We saw that they did with Select F, which is the pick I would pick because I think the financial companies are going to fly. In fact, let me end that point and not go off on a tangent. I've said it before, I'll say it again. When JMMB grabs 22% of Sagicor Financial on their books, that's going to be a Canadian company hitting a Jamaican company, boosting them by 20%. I suspect they might go up to maybe second or third on that list of waiting on the Select F. And then over the next 10 years, whatever is happening now is going to happen even more. So Select F today is probably like
$1.20 something.
$1.20 odd. In 10 years, I wouldn't be surprised if it's $25. And for my basis for that is not just what's happening within the industry currently. And competition is one thing that grows an industry. But also, if you look at the other indices that's on the JSC, guys, if you read in the show notes, I'll put a couple of them in there. But if you look on the other indices or indexes that's on the JSC, you see the growth of them over time. Over time, indexes move up. That's just how they move. So I would probably go Select F if I had to pick one. But what do you guys think about a poor man index? Do something, man. Do a couple of indices. Consider it, please. Please take this as an official consideration.
We'll definitely take it under consideration.
Yes, please.
Speak
But
to
listen,
the portfolio team.
if I see you cover that index in the next 2 years, you have to say, and the prospectus for it say, as Randy said, on earnings season.
Big up Randy.
Yeah, but please come with something like that because I think it'd be great. And index is easy. It doesn't have to be as official. It doesn't even have to be run through the JSC. You can run it yourself because, as you know, I really like
that idea of it.
JMMB employees, you're very careful because I'm very good at talking to people and getting them to slip and say things. No slip. They just pick up the base. I'll take it under advisement. We are hearing you.
Big boss, I'll lean back.
Yeah, I'm not touching this at all. But please do. So big up JMMB for that. So you've gotten my 10-year, which is carb cement. I'd buy every month 10 grand. And if I could put money in something and forget it for 10 years, it would probably be selective. If I could buy an IPO now, it'd probably be Blue Power. Lumber warehouse.
Oh,
yeah. And I said that one just so that Danai couldn't say it. So Danai, what's yours?
It's really like to make this hard for me. All right, so 10 years I like with Cinco because the drive they've pushed for the exporting is not that great right now, and the amount of power they have in our local markets has put them so far. So imagine when they start exporting heavily towards the rest of the Caribbean. So we're talking about regional plays. At IPO, I think they said they wanted to go regional, and they haven't pushed as heavy regionally.
Exports are still next to nothing for them. Correct.
So imagine then.
Yeah. I got one better. Imagine if they start to sell cheap, clean water in Haiti.
Oh, yeah.
Haiti have 10
when you
million
just
people.
listen, they said that to me.
Yeah.
When you just listen, they said that to me.
Yeah. I only sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. But guys, you have any other picks? You want to say, or can we have our lovely people get wrapped? Because I know they've been very kind. And let me say thank you for doing this on such short notice, by the way.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate the opportunity.
I still like in Blue Pot if the price falls. No, not Blue Pot. No, it's not.
Not Blue Pot, not the lumber company.
Blue Pot if the price falls. Because of the restructuring in the group and the money they're going to be getting from the lumber company.
The lumber company, yes. Meaning the payout and the fees.
The payout and the fees.
Yeah.
Similarly, Jam Tea right now. We spoke about this earlier today. We're looking at the amount of... So QDubai started to pay them the administrative fee, I think it is. And they...
17 million a year?
Yeah, man.
Or is that the lumber? Something is in that region.
Something like that, man.
Yeah.
The money that will be coming from their supermarket play, they bought back into the holding company that held the supermarket.
They bought it completely. 100%. Yeah.
And they want to expand the supermarket they already have. And they finished construction. They're finishing construction this year on the real estate they have. They move away from the low income housing towards the higher income housing.
I it's funny, they say higher income, but I see them quoting prices.
20 million, yeah.
20 million in Manor Park.
In this market, Manor Park, 20
that's
million.
already set off.
That's gone.
But I saw, this says a 700 square foot apartment. I don't know if 700 square foot works apartment, but hey, in Manor Park,
exactly.
In how things are going in real estate now.
To me, that's gone.
Yeah. You buy two and knock out the wall.
So yeah, I think Jam Tea is going to be some good money coming within the short term. So.
Okay. What's your long term pick?
Long term was Cinco, bro.
With Cinco. How much years?
I was looking 10 years.
10 years?
But I think it'll be actualized shorter than 10 years, but I don't think that's the only play they'll be having over a 10-year period.
No, yeah, I think they have.
We Cinco is hungry. We Cinco likes growth. So
Yeah. Let me stop myself from saying the wrong thing. We Cinco is a deadly company. I respect them a lot. But thank you very much, guys. Let me bring it back to JMMB. Thank you very, very much for being
pleasure.
here. Whenever you guys want to, by the way, you have anything you want to say, shout me. I'll show up. I went the extra mile today because I wanted this one to happen. But you have anything you want to put out in the market, you want to say it, let me know. Show Danai, tell me on Twitter, call me.
Yeah, we got your number.
Yeah, so whatever you need to, thank you. Thank you guys for showing up. I'll wrap it very quickly. I said thank you. Anything you want to say to the market, you can, and we'll just wrap there.
No, as I said, JMMB is continuing on its growth path, and we think it's a wonderful opportunity for investors to participate. And we have deliberately stayed true to what we represent, so that the smaller investors will have a greater chance of getting a significant part of their allocation. And
it's a major thing, the bottom up.
Really and truly, that people can be part of the huge growth that we will experience and the broader Jamaican, as we have seen in terms of improving economic conditions.
That's true.
Yeah, and just encouraging everybody to be a part of the family, whether through this APO, if it's for you, or just to become a client, as a Jamaican company that has grown regionally and just flown the flag of Jamaica high as a strong financial institution that really believes in building the greatness in people. We are open and willing and always welcoming people who want to join the family. So
yeah.
I
like that. People do join the family. Let me tell you a story. At the end of that story, I remember I was going through my father's old Attache cases the other day, a couple of months ago. he had left there because he's in Jamaica anymore. But that such case was here, and I saw old colored piece of regular printer paper, but it's like bright yellow. I don't know if it's bright yellow or if it's aged, but it was the JMMB IPO.
Wow.
From way back then.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm not from a rich family, so it's poor people, and the little money that they put in then is still there. So the more I think about it, the more you guys actually are responsible for democratizing a huge part of the financial space in Jamaica.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's no knocking that. So thank you guys very, very, very much.
Thank
and I hope
you,
to hear you
gentlemen.
again. And I hope that you. Well, I know the AP will be successful, and I suspect that it'll be upsized. And there was anything again, but yeah, we'll see what happens November 11th or whatever date it closes. So thank you guys very, very much. This is earnings season, guys. I've been Randy at RT Row.
And Danai at H Danai.
And our guests, you can give you guys name. If you want to give any social media plugs, this is your chance. Kerry, you want the people embody on social media or no? No?
At JMMB Group.
Be on the JMMB Group. Thank you guys. It's been earnings season.
Thanks, guys.
Oh,